Hey everyone, welcome back to Unlocking the Future. Before we start, did you know 65% of our content consumers aren't following us on social media? If you enjoy the show and want to support us, please hit that subscribe or follow button and collect our episodes on pods.media. We promise to keep improving the show for you every week. Your support means a lot, guys. Thank you. All right, so today we're diving into the rise of a new AI model called DeepSeek. And get this, it's coming out of China. And it's shaking up the AI landscape in some pretty major ways. You ready to unlock the future with me on this one?
Absolutely. There's a lot to unpack here. Yeah.
You might be thinking, okay, new AI model, big deal, why should I care? But trust me, this is about way more than just some new tech. We're talking potential impacts on everything from global power dynamics to the future of innovation itself. DeepSeek is challenging the assumptions of how AI is developed and who gets to lead the charge.
Yeah. What's fascinating here is that DeepSeek was developed incredibly quickly and cheaply. We're talking 2 months and under $6 million. That's a stark contrast to the billions of dollars and years of research invested by U.S. giants like OpenAI and Google.
It really makes you question the traditional model, doesn't it? Like, do you really need to throw mountains of money at AI development to be successful? DeepSeek seems to be saying, not necessarily.
Right, and it gets even more interesting when you consider that DeepSeek isn't just some budget model. It's actually outperforming some of these more established U.S. models in key areas like math and coding, even with limited resources and facing those U.S. semiconductor restrictions.
Talk about punching above its weight. So this isn't just about keeping pace with the U.S. It's almost like China saying we can do it better, faster, and cheaper. What kind of message does that send to the rest of the world, do you think?
It's definitely a signal of ambition, showing that China is serious about leading in AI. And it's causing some anxiety among U.S. policymakers, for sure. You could even argue that this sets the stage for a whole new kind of AI race, one that's not just about technological supremacy, but about global influence and reshaping the existing power dynamics.
So DeepSeek is kind of like a David versus Goliath story in a way, right? This smaller, more agile player taking on the established giants. And you know what else is interesting? They managed to sidestep those U.S. export controls on high-performance chips. It's like they turned a limitation into a strength.
It speaks volumes about their resourcefulness. DeepSeek's creators found ingenious ways to work around these constraints. And it begs the question, could this leaner approach actually become a model for others? Could we see a wave of AI innovation coming from places and organizations that don't have access to massive resources?
It's like the old saying, necessity is the mother of invention. But let's talk about another big difference here, the whole open source versus closed source debate. DeepSeek's model is open source, which is a huge contrast to the proprietary approach we see from a lot of U.S. companies. What are the implications of that?
It's potentially a game changer. An open source model allows for global collaboration and innovation. Anyone can access the technology, modify it, build upon it. It challenges the idea that AI development needs to be this closely guarded secret, locked away behind expensive paywalls. But it also raises questions about control, security, and ensuring responsible development.
Right, it's a double-edged sword, isn't it? So we've got this incredibly fast, cost-effective model that's outperforming the competition in key areas, coming from a country determined to be a leader in AI. And it's open source. It's like DeepSeek is rewriting the playbook for how AI is developed and what the future of AI might look like.
And it's happening much faster than anyone anticipated.
Yeah, exactly. So the big question is, where do we go from here? What does DeepSeek's emergence mean for the future of AI development as a whole?
That's what we're going to explore in more depth when we come back. Stay with us.
DeepSeek's emergence raises a lot of questions about where the AI landscape is headed.
Yeah, it's like everything we thought we knew about AI development is being challenged, right?
Absolutely. And one of the most fascinating aspects is the potential shift towards more open and collaborative models of development.
We touched on this a bit earlier, but I'm curious to dive a little deeper. What are the potential advantages of this kind of open source approach?
Well, for starters, it could significantly lower the barriers to entry for AI development. We've already seen how DeepSeek achieved impressive results with limited resources. Imagine what could happen if talented individuals and organizations from all over the world had access to these kinds of tools and could collaborate openly.
It's like democratizing AI in a way, right? Not just keeping it within the realm of big tech companies and well-funded research labs.
Precisely. And that could lead to a surge of innovation. With new ideas and applications emerging from unexpected places, it's like opening the floodgates of creativity and seeing what happens. That's an exciting thought. But I also remember you mentioning some potential risks associated with open source AI. Can you elaborate on those?
Of course. One concern is the potential for misuse. If these powerful models are readily available, it's crucial to have safeguards in place to prevent them from being used for harmful purposes. Think about the potential for bad actors to exploit these models for malicious activities, like creating sophisticated spam or even developing autonomous weapons systems.
That's a sobering thought. It seems like striking a balance between fostering innovation and ensuring responsible use is going to be critical.
Absolutely. And that's where things get tricky. How do you encourage open collaboration while also mitigating the risks? It's a complex issue with no easy answers.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if the existing regulatory frameworks are equipped to deal with this new reality.
That's a valid point. We're in uncharted territory here. The speed at which AI is evolving is outpacing the development of regulations and ethical guidelines. There needs to be a global conversation about how to govern this technology responsibly.
So what are some potential solutions? Where do we even begin to address these challenges?
I think it starts with fostering a culture of responsibility within the AI community itself. Developers, researchers, and policymakers need to work together to establish clear ethical guidelines and best practices for AI development.
So it's not just about writing new laws. It's about establishing a shared sense of responsibility and ethical awareness.
Exactly. It's about building a framework that encourages innovation while also safeguarding against potential harms. And that requires open dialogue and collaboration on a global scale.
It sounds like DeepSeek's emergence has really thrown a wrench into the works, forcing us to confront some tough questions about the future of AI.
It has certainly accelerated the conversation. We can't ignore the implications of what's happening. DeepSeek is a wake-up call, a sign that the AI landscape is changing faster than we ever anticipated.
So where do we go from here? What does this mean for the future of AI, for the future of innovation, for the future of everything?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And while I don't have a crystal ball, I can say this: the next few years are going to be absolutely crucial in shaping the trajectory of AI. We're at a crossroads, and the choices we make now will have far-reaching consequences.
It feels like we're on the cusp of something truly transformative, but also potentially dangerous.
It's both exciting and unsettling, isn't it? But I believe that with careful consideration, open dialogue, and a commitment to responsible innovation, we can harness the power of AI for good.
I hope you're right. Now let's shift gears a bit and explore some specific examples of how DeepSeek and other emerging AI models are already being used in the real world.
That's a great idea. Let's dive into some real-world applications.
All right, so we've talked about the big picture implications of DeepSeek and this new wave of AI development, but let's bring things down to earth a bit.
Let's get concrete.
Exactly. Where are we actually seeing these AI models making a real-world impact right now? Like, what are some specific examples?
Well, one area where we're seeing some truly remarkable progress is in healthcare. Imagine AI models that can analyze medical images like X-rays or CT scans with an accuracy that rivals or even surpasses human doctors.
That sounds like something straight out of science fiction.
It does, doesn't it? But it's becoming a reality, and the implications are huge. We're talking about earlier and more accurate diagnoses, more personalized treatment plans, and potentially even cures for diseases that were once considered incurable. There are even AI models being developed that can predict patient outcomes with incredible accuracy, helping doctors make better decisions about treatment options.
It's mind-boggling to think about the potential. What about other fields? Where else will we be seeing AI making a tangible difference?
Education is another area that's ripe for disruption. Imagine AI-powered tutoring systems that can personalize the learning experience for each student, adapting to their individual needs and pace.
So no more one-size-fits-all approach to education.
Exactly. AI can identify a student's strengths and weaknesses, provide targeted feedback, and even suggest customized learning materials. This has the potential to make education more effective and accessible for everyone, regardless of their background or learning style.
It's like having a personal tutor available to every student 24/7.
That's the idea. And it's not just about tutoring. AI can also help teachers with administrative tasks, freeing up more time for them to focus on what they do best, teaching and mentoring.
So it's about augmenting human capabilities,
Yeah.
not replacing teachers altogether.
Precisely. And we're also seeing AI being used in creative fields, like music and art. There are AI models that can compose original pieces of music, generate stunning works of art, and even write poetry. It's pushing the boundaries of human creativity in some really fascinating ways.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what the future holds for artists and musicians. In a world where AI can seemingly do it all?
That's a valid concern. It's a conversation we need to be having.
Let's take a quick break here.
Okay.
We are open for partnerships. Got a cool project? We've got the spotlight you need. We're opening our doors to a limited number of newsletters and podcast sponsorships, offering an exclusive opportunity to promote your brand and connect with our passionate audience. Check out the link in our newsletter or hit us up across all socials. We got this.
All right. How do we ensure that human creativity continues to thrive? In an age of increasingly sophisticated AI, it's a question without easy answers, but it's one we can't afford to ignore.
It feels like we're just scratching the surface of what's possible with AI. Where do you see things heading in the next 5 to 10 years?
It's hard to say for sure, but I think we can expect to see AI becoming even more integrated into our daily lives. We'll see more AI-powered applications in healthcare, education, transportation, finance, and countless other industries. The key is to ensure that this integration is done thoughtfully and ethically, with a focus on benefiting humanity as a whole.
Before we get into the nitty-gritty, I want to give a massive shout-out to our partners at Perks.
Oh, yeah, they're great.
Yeah, the masterminds behind some seriously awesome free marketing tools for, you guessed it, on-chain creators.
Definitely check them out.
Yeah, go check them out on Farcaster and X. So as we wrap up this deep dive into DeepSeek and the evolving AI landscape, what's the one key takeaway you'd like our listeners to remember?
I think the most important thing is to approach AI with a sense of both wonder and caution. It's a powerful tool with the potential to solve some of the world's most pressing problems, but it also comes with risks that we need to be aware of. The future of AI is not predetermined. It's something we're all shaping together through our choices and actions. By staying informed, engaging in open dialogue, and advocating for responsible innovation, we can help steer AI towards a future that benefits all of humanity.
Well said. And on that note, I think it's time to wrap up this episode. Thanks for joining us on this journey into the fascinating world of AI. Stay curious.